All right. What's next?
We got Lil Goozy says, Rob, what's more likely after episode 2 of The Last of Us? Viewership will either increase or decrease by the end of the season.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Look, I think a good show is a good show. And I think that the emotional stakes, if you can elicit an emotional response from an audience, they're going to come back. And I think a lot of people are going to want to know, where is this going to go? And I think where it goes is interesting enough that people are going to keep coming back to the show. And I think the viewership will increase.
Yeah, I am also going to say I think it's going to increase. The comps to this are, okay, your seemingly main protagonist dies very early in your show. That kind of happened in Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, look at the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
even
Sean
prior
Bean.
to
Ned
Red
Stark.
Wedding,
Oh,
right?
and Sean Bean, yeah.
Yeah, Sean Bean. I remember watching Game of Thrones because I never read the books. I remember watching Game of Thrones season 1. Sean Bean was my favorite character. Ned Stark was my absolute favorite character. It's an ensemble show, but he was the lead. He was clearly the lead. And then they cut off his head at the end of season 1. And I remember thinking, well, I'm done with this show. But I wasn't. I kept going back. Even though I said I'm done with this show. Red Wedding is another great example. I talked about this on the post-game show last night. One of my favorite videos on YouTube ever is this collection of reactions, not reactors, but like real reactions of people filming their friends in their living room watching the Red Wedding. You've seen this video,
I love that
collection?
video. I love that
and
video.
like people like literally screaming, no, fuck this show. I'm never watching this show again. Guess what? They all came back and kept watching. The viewership just kept going up. Another comp that somebody brought up to me last night was Glenn in Walking Dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
That after Glenn got offed, the viewership went down.
Mm-hmm.
My counter to that is, I feel like The Last of Us, there were a bunch of people, even though the ratings were still high at the time.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, even though the viewership was still high at the time, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, were almost getting ready to be over the show already. Like that didn't happen until season 6 or 7 of Walking Dead. I can't remember which one. It was either 6 or 7. We're talking about like the Ned Stark thing, season 1. Last of Us thing, very beginning of season 2. So, I mean, really, I'm going to be curious to see what the answer is. I don't definitively know if it'll go up and down, but my guess is, it's still going to go up. Because like you said, Rob, once you really touch emotions in people, they tend to come back. If for no other reason, now they're going to want to see Abby get hers. But anyway, Chris, what do you think is more likely? After the death of Joel, does the viewership go up or down?
I think there's the potential of decrease. I really do, especially for people who didn't play the games. There have been so many, I'm out, I'm done, I can't believe they killed him, that I've seen online. And for those of us who played the game, we knew this was coming, so I'm in.
But even beyond, there's been so many things where it's just like the event, this and that, not just from us, that you would think most people would be like, oh, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not.
But a bunch of people did not know what was going into this.
They're
and
called losers.
They all freaked out about it. So I really feel like, honestly, I think people are going to wait on watching episode 3 to see if we get another, is there a reason to stick around? Because this is the problem with the Glenn situation. Yes, that show was also starting to circle the drain, at least in my opinion. When Glenn died, that's when I left. But it was also another, why does anyone want to live in this world? What does anyone want to be among the Walking Dead? There is no hope in this show. This is terrible. I don't want to continue watching this torture porn or all this just like sadistic, no one's ever going to be happy kind of stuff, right? The Last of Us, with what they did in the first season and changing some of those stories and giving us that wonderful Nick Offerman episode, reminded us, hey, you can find beauty and love and goodness in this terrible world if you really work for it.
Right.
And that's what they're going to have to deliver for a lot of people to stick with this show right now. And unfortunately, I mean, for me, I love this plot, but we are going to see Ellie go down this very, very dark path. And I don't know if that's going to be what some viewers are in for. I think a lot of folks right now are wanting escapist television. For me, I think that the escapist television I want is vengeful. So I'm in for this, but I'm interested to see how other people are going to feel about it. I think this one is going to be pretty divisive.
Rob?
I think, well, I said that I think that, but Chris makes a good point. I mean, it's not like, I would say that it's not like this is going to get happy.
No.
You know, but on the other hand, the way that they've been able to bring so much more to it than just what happened in the game, they've made it more nuanced. Like that episode last night had so much more going on in it because we could change perspectives and watch things happening concurrently. And man, if they keep doing that, it's going to be a hell of a show to watch. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Again, and I've heard the people say too, like after last night, saying, "Oh, can't believe they killed him. I'm never going to watch this again." It's just that I heard them all say the same thing after Game of Thrones.
Right.
Season 1 ended. I heard so many people say that after the Red Wedding.
Well, the thing
We'll
is,
see.
if entertainment is good, you know, it doesn't matter what happens if the entertainment, if the show is good and the writing in this. The fact that they are shooting for the moon in terms of quality, and they're aspiring to a lot, and that's what we want from entertainment, especially genre entertainment.
By the way, somebody just brought up in the live chat too, and we Jeffrey Wright hasn't even showed up yet.
Right.
I'm so excited for that. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.